The brand new Void spell is out, so in today's video, I'm going to be playing 3 different decks to test it out and see how strong this thing actually is, and we'll find out what it pairs well in. Is it going to be good mostly inside of beatdown decks, or is it also going to be really good inside a cycle, or maybe vice versa? I guess we'll have to find out and see if it's as good as it looked with the original gameplay. Some of it you guys might have seen from me or other people. It looked really strong, so we'll see if that is still the case now that we're in some actual games. And also, I'm not using Evolve Wizard in any of the matches, just kind of a heads up, because there's actually a bug where it doesn't have the correct amount of shield health it's supposed to. So on release, at the moment, it is worse than it's actually supposed to be, but they're gonna fix that in the next balance change, or the maintenance break, excuse me, which should be coming in tomorrow. And I'm playing at 9,000 now because I actually think at 9,000 trophies, the gameplay is slightly better than you're going to see in League 1 and League 2. And obviously, because the season just started, I haven't pushed up yet. I just wanted to address that because whenever I play at 9,000, people are always like, boss, play Path of Legends, the gameplay is better. But I'm telling you all, in League 1, League 2, you're definitely going to be seeing better gameplay in 9,000, in my opinion. And also, I want to save it anyways for the stream. I'm planning on stream pushing from League 1 to Ultimate Champion. Also, I don't know if my voice is a little off still. Maybe it sounds slightly different. I'm still a bit sick, but, you know, I'm slowly getting better. Definitely feel a little better than yesterday, which is good. So I can pretty much just ignore those barrels when he decides to do that, because the Duchess does a fairly decent job, I would say, against them, where the pump is still getting an adequate amount of value. So we're going to go Giant Night Witch here. The Void in this deck, by the way, is in the deck for arrows, and then in some of the other decks I'll show you guys, the Void might be in for the Fireball, for example, or the Poison. So you guys are kind of getting a feel for how the spell is going to be compared to the other one. So he's going to go in for a Bar Barrel there. We're just going to pop the ability here, and this is just kind of a pretty nice and easy game one over here. Let's see how it does. Does it kill the Firecracker when it's also hitting the King Tower? I believe it will. He decided to go for Skeletons, so that ended up protecting it. Okay, that's interesting. So if they protect it like that, it keeps the Firecracker alive. So that is not a good look, I have to say. So it seems like it's fairly easy, you know, and people might have already known this, to protect units if, you know, your opponent is smart like that. So even, for example, if they go in for a building, they could go for goblins or something and protect it. So that is something you are really going to have to be cautious about. So it's going to be maybe some like mind games now, like people might try to predict the opponent's Void and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting, because here I'm going to try to hit the Firecracker. See that? You want it to solely focus on that unit you're trying to kill. So see that? I think this guy's experimenting because he purposely played it in that. So kill the Skeleton Barrel, kill the Firecracker when it's hitting that and only that. Alright, so the second Void deck we're going to try out is actually this Lava deck here, where we have the Void instead of the Fireball. I'm kind of curious how this works out, because in the first game, I had the Void in for the arrows, and I actually don't know what spell the Void is the most similar to. Like, I don't really know if it's more similar to arrows, because obviously when you do use it on something like a Skeleton Army, it's quite effective. But also, it kills a Sparky, for example, and then also it's really good against buildings. So I don't know if it's more like a rocket, if it's more like a fireball, or if it's more like a arrow spell. Like, I really just don't even know. Like, I'm curious to find out. I mean, actually, people have said it's more like the Evolve Zap, but it just has so much utility. That's kind of what makes the spell just very, very interesting. And I feel like it's the type of spell where we're really going to find out as more and more time goes on. We're just going to learn so many different interactions with this card. There are actually, I don't think people realize how many different interactions there are, because of like all the mechanics of it and the difference it deals in damage and stuff. I think I'm gonna use it to kill the Little Prince. I couldn't even make up my mind there if I wanted to use it on the Firecracker or the Little Prince, but I feel like the Little Prince is more important to address, just because of the fact that, I don't know, like, it just, he could use the ability. The Firecracker just got wiped out by the tower, as you can see. So that was kind of my thought process there, and I think that was probably the right decision. But yeah, that's what's weird too. You have to like pick and choose what you want to use it on. I was like, do I want to kill the Firecracker or do I want to kill the Little Prince? Because I knew I couldn't kill both. Because if I played it on both, it would have split the damage. Maybe I could have, though, to be fair, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I don't even know if he needed to fireball that Inferno Drag. But anyway, let's just lava up here and see what he wants to do. The Void is also going to be a great counter to the Inferno, which maybe I'll get a chance to show you guys. It's just a really cool way to take that out. So it's like, yeah, because I feel like it's even better against buildings than the Earthquake, which is just weird, but it's kind of true. So, like, do this, right? And then I'll use the Void on the Inferno just to show you guys. Like, we're not going to get through with the lava, but I mean, that just wipes out the Inferno. That's pretty ridiculous. So he's going to go in for the Evolve recruits here. We really got to watch out here. Let's get a Valkyrie going. That is going to... Nice. Okay, we pretty much killed everything. That was really cool. That looked kind of... Oh, let's get a Zap going here. Actually, would have been nice if I got that down earlier, because then, obviously, the whatchamacallit, the Evolve Royal Recruit wouldn't have charged in, but I guess that's okay. Does that kill? Okay, well, I missed the Inferno, which is what I was trying to hit, but that's completely fine. He actually doesn't even have his Evolve Recruits in cycle, so, yeah. Anyway, apologize again if my commentary isn't the best. I forgot if I already said this. I'm kind of sick. We'll just go in here for a Balloon. Let's go Balloon without a Lava and see how this goes. I'm going to zap the Inferno, and he's going to go probably... There's the Inferno. We'll just Void it, but it's already game. The Balloon is already on top of the tower. It's over, but yeah, Inferno gets wrecked by it. And now the third deck I want to test it out in is a Drill Cycle deck. I guess it's also going to be similar to maybe a Hog Earthquake deck as well, with Void instead of the Earthquake, so maybe it'll be kind of similar to that, because these two decks have similar cards in it. Like, for example, the Knight, the Little Prince can be used in both, and of course the Tesla you're gonna see in both, and they're both cycle decks. I actually personally think the Earthquake is really gonna fall off after the Void comes, you know, well, it's already in the game, excuse me. Yeah, I am not talking as well as I normally do. I'm not saying I even when I'm feeling normal, I talk perfectly. Like, I make plenty of mistakes, but when I'm sick, it's like it's a whole nother level. But anyway, what I was going to say is I feel like there's really going to be no point in using the Earthquake over the Void, because it's like, if the Void can kill a building, like, what's even the point of having the EQ? I mean, maybe it does slightly more chip damage to towers, but it's like the Void does more chip damage than the arrows, so I just really don't know. Are people possibly going to use the Void instead of the Log? That might be another possibility as well. But anyway, let's go for an Evolved Bomber here on top of the RG. So glad that this card is getting a nerf, because it definitely needs one. And yeah, I think I don't even need to use the Little Prince ability. That's just going to be taken out because of the Duchess being as broken as she is. And in that type of scenario, the Duchess getting a nerf to her hit points doesn't even mean jack squat. It would still have done just as good against the RG, so the Duchess might have debatably needed a DPS nerf and not even a health nerf. I don't know, but of course the health nerf is still gonna help a bit, so we're kind of overwhelming this guy here without even using our drill. He actually has to go in for arrows there. We might as well keep the pressure on, go in for a Goblin Drill. I kind of feel bad for this guy, because, you know, this is why this game is just kind of... I'm not even going to lie. I feel like this guy's pretty free to play, because he doesn't have the Pass Royale, and it seems like... I don't know. I just feel kind of bad, because it's like... I just feel like the game, there's just... This is why this last balance change, I really hope it kind of cleaned everything up a bit. Maybe it's going to help with the meta, because I feel like just... I feel bad. Like, we just have so many broken cards. I mean, to be fair, this guy has the little Prince, but I don't know. I've been kind of hesitant to use my Void this game. I don't know, like, if... I don't know how it does. Let's actually try it out if we can get an opportunity to on, like, a bunch of units. I kind of want to see, like... Let's just, like, play it here and see how it does. So, it's going to kill the Little Prince. I mean, it does a little bit... I mean, that was, like, not awful, but... I don't know. I mean, it's, like, when there's a bunch of units, it's definitely not hitting the same, for sure. Like, it looks broken sometimes, and then other times it's, like, kind of, I don't know. So it might be a little bit situational. So we'll try to finish him off here. I think this is pretty much a wrap. Probably a pretty easy matchup, to be fair. I think that RG is pretty weak, but Anyway, that's going to be about it for the video. Let me know what you guys think of the new Void spell. It might not be as broken as I initially thought it was, but I think for sure it is going to be an above average spell and replace Earthquake in a lot of decks. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and use code BOSS in the shop in any Supercell game to support me. I really do appreciate that.